Hey guys, Todd here with HobbyLink Japan, and look what the truck just dropped off here at our warehouse. That's right, it is the brand new Perfect Grade Gundam Exia. I know a lot of people have been very excited about this kit and have been really waiting for it to come out, and it is just about December here, and that means this kit is now being released. So look here at the box. It is, of course, a nice large box, kind of similar in size, probably about same size as what we got with that Perfect Grade Unicorn kit, if you have seen that box, or if you have purchased that one for yourself. Another great kit, highly recommended. This kit has kind of a nice artwork, and one thing I like, I think this is only exclusive to the lighting model version, is it has like a metallic coating, a metallic sheen to the artwork on this box, and that looks really, really cool. We're only going to take a look at the lighting model here, because this is kind of like the grand kit, the bigger of the two coming out. There is also a non-lighting model that was also released at the same time. Alright, so let's turn this box around and let's see what we get inside this kit. The back of the box is, of course, where they always kind of show off the details and what we can expect for this kit. So on the right here, it mentions about the lighting. We'll get to that in a second. But let's take a look over here at the left side, where it kind of talks about the action and whatnot. So it mentions articulations, and that this is going to have some pretty great articulations. It says it has some kind of extending front armor, and that parts of that articulation is kind of better because parts of the front armor can be extended, and that parts of the frame, it mentions that parts of the frame for this kit can be seen through the gaps in the armor. So that just kind of gives it creates a sense of precision that's really only available in like Perfect Grade kits, because Perfect Grade really is just the top of the line kits as far as Gundam goes. Alright, so it also mentions about the hatches, and it says all external parts moves to recreate the hatch opening gimmicks and enabled through arrangements made in the PG's original design. So that's cool. We got parts that can be opened up and hatches and whatnot. And armaments, of course, we got some shields and weapons. It says it's featuring the GN shield with a gimmick to increase the defensive area, as well as a highly detailed version of the 7 swords. And for hands, it mentions hands, so it mentions that you get a movable type of hands that you can open and close, but it also comes with some fixed posed hands. So if you want to have a more, like here on the left, you can see where it's holding the armor. Sometimes those flexible hands aren't really that great at holding weapons and whatnot. So if you want to have a kind of fixed posed hands for that, it looks like they have you covered. And also it talks about the GN drive. So it mentions that the GN drive can be attached to the base to recreate some scenes from the anime, as well as the GN drive activation test. So there's a couple of different options that you can do with the GN drive. Alright, so being the lighting model, the big kahuna for this kit is going to be that extra lighting unit. Unlike the Unicorn, where the lighting was available separately, with this one you're going to have to make the choice. Do you want to buy the kit with the lighting, or do you want to buy it without the lighting? And so far we don't know, we have no information if they ever plan to release that lighting unit separately, in case you wanted to buy the non-light and add it later. So you have to make that choice when you buy the kit. Do you want the light? Yes, you got to buy the lighting model. Do you never want the light and you never plan to add it? Then, well, you can be happy with the non-lighting version. So this kit has kind of a cool feature for the LED unit, and it's talking about that here on the right side of the box, and it says this is a newly designed LED unit that can recreate accumulated compressed GN particles charging glow. So it shines green during ignition, and it becomes blue-green when loading, and it turns red when GN particles are at a critical state. So it is possible to experience the movement of particles from the GN drive as they are transmitted throughout the body. So that is going to be really, really cool to see. So alright, so it mentions here about how the lights work throughout the kit, and you can see them throughout the frame there. So let's go ahead and open up this box then, and let's take a look and see what you get inside. Alright, so straight out of the box, as you can see, it comes with a lot of parts, and we have the LED unit in the corner here. But these bags can be quite noisy when they're getting open, so I'm going to go ahead and take the liberty of opening these bags up for you. And you'll notice this is kind of quite a close shot. I have the camera in this position so that you guys can get a better look at these runners once we go through each of the individual runners. So give me a second here to open up all these bags. Alright guys, so I have all of the bags opened up and all of the runners have been taken out of the box. Now, when I was going through the runners, I counted, I believe if I counted correctly, it was about 40 runners, different runners inside this box. So there's a lot of plastic to get through, so I'm going to try and go through these as quickly as I can. Otherwise, this video is going to probably take forever. Alright, so let's start off. I'm going to do these runners in alphabetical order to try and just keep things orderly here. And as you can see, these are of course going to be your A runners, and as is tradition with a lot of Bandai kits, the A runner is going to be the one that has the multicolored, the different color plastics on that same runner. So for the A runner, we got a lot of different parts, probably for the feet and the waist and the chest parts. And you'll notice the A1 runner does have a couple of extra pieces here on the right that is missing from the A2 runner. I believe those are going to be for the shoulders, and of course this is going to be for the chin and the face mask there. So we got a nice light looking blue color here and a darker blue, a traditional yellow, and a very traditional looking red color. So that is going to be your A runners. Let's move on next to your B runners. Alright, so we're going to have B1. Now B1 is this really clear looking green plastic. It's a very light green plastic there. And you're going to also have B2 runners. So these are of course going to be like the parts for the chest and just maybe I believe the arms had some clear parts on the sides, and the legs as well, and probably the GN drive. I'm guessing these are the parts for the GN drive, because that box mentioned it had that fancy GN drive that could do the fancy tricks. Alright, so let's move on next to the C runner. Alright, for the C runner, now this is also a clear, but whereas the B runners were a hard clear plastic, this C runner is probably pretty much the same plastic that you get with the beam sabers. It feels identical to that. It's a bit flexible type of plastic, so it's not perfectly clear. It's kind of like a milky type clear. So it's going to really show off those LED lights great once you use these clear parts on that kit. So we're moving on. That was the C runner. We're going on to the D. We're moving on to the gray plastic parts, and this is a dark gray. Not a whole lot to show off with that D runner there. So let's move on next to the E runners. Alright, so for the E runners, we're actually going to have E1 and we are going to have E2. So as you can see here, the E2 is just half of the E1 runner, so you're not going to need these other parts again, I guess, so we don't feel the need to give you those extra parts. So the F runner is going to be this white plastic, and this one's going to give us more parts for the GN drive, I would imagine, and the antenna for the top of the head, more of the head parts here. That looks pretty cool. Although they have, it looks like the top of the antenna is attached to the runner here. I know sometimes they give you this V-fin and they manage to mold it so that there'll only be like one nub at the bottom, but it looks like they weren't able to do that with this one, as you'll have to cut off the top here, and you'll have to clean that up, but not a big deal. It should clean up. Alright, so this is the G runner, and this notes that it is ABS plastic, so I'm guessing a lot of the frame on this kit is going to be ABS, and looking at these parts, I'm guessing that is going to be for the GN drive. So, and of course the face mask there, that looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool, some nice detail on there. So let's move on next to the H runner. Alright, so the H runner is going to be a blue runner, and probably another part that's going to be the back of the GN drive, it looks like, and just other bits of the blue that goes around maybe the chest. And so for the I runner, this is going to be more ABS plastic, and we're going to get into the frame parts. Well, they've got some pretty nice details on here. So a lot of the internal frame parts. Now, it mentioned on that box that there's gaps in the plastic that'll show off the details in the frames here. So you can see some of these parts. Probably this is what's going to sit around the the neck, I'm guessing, at the top, and they've got some nice kind of panel lines and scribe details in there. That looks really good. Next we're going to go on to J. So alright, some more ABS plastic, more of the internal frame parts. Alright, next up is the K. So we're going to have the tops. These are probably going to be the tops of the leg parts here, I would imagine. That looks pretty cool. Alright, some more ABS plastic, more dark gray. L next, and the L is going to be back to the white plastic. So we have parts for the back of the hands. I believe these are the, what hold the beam sabers. M. And we have two M runners, and these are identical here. So it looks like we have parts for the inside of the internal parts of the shoulders, and a whole lot of other really small parts are going to be found on this M runner. N runner. Alright, so now we're getting into the hands here. So you can see they have the fixed pose hands that it mentioned here, and it looks like we have the parts for the hands that are going to have like the joints that you can move. You can see there's the fingers. So the fingers itself don't have like a joint in the knuckle. This one is just fixed posed, it looks like. So maybe that's the thumb. So not a whole lot you can do with those. So I guess that's probably why they give you those fixed hands. You'll note we do get two of the O runners in here. More parts for the armor, and they look pretty good. Alright, so we got P, and there are two of the P runners here. So as we've seen before, we have a full P1 runner, and the P2 runner is just the top of this P1 runner, so we don't need these parts again. So inside internal frame parts, it looks like these are going to be for the legs, I would imagine. You do get two of the Q runners here, so that's got to be for the feet, and probably more parts for the inside of the legs, I would imagine. Alright, S runner, we have some polycaps. Okay, so these will help you with articulation. This came in a separate bag. So the C runner had that milky clear plastic, and this is kind of that same color, milky clear, but these parts are really soft, rubbery. So about same color as the C, but quite different. And they don't come on a runner, they just come included inside of a bag, so you probably will not want to lose those parts. Alright, here's a couple of tiny little fun things. We get the figures. 1/60th scale figures here. So you get a standing pilot figure, and you get a sitting. These are the YB and the YA runners. Alright, so that is pretty much it for the entire of the suit itself. So for the weapons, we have, oh gosh, you know, the weapons there's probably enough runners for these weapons to build it. The same amount of runners for the weapons as you would expect in like a HG kit. Alright, starting off with the WA, so that's going to be the Weapon A runner shield, and this is also molded in the ABS black. And we are going to have WB, so more internal parts for the shields and the weapons. And there is actually two of the WB runners, but this WB2 is only 1/4 of the rest of this runner, so you'll have some of those extra parts as well. There you go. Alright, so moving on next, we get into some colors for the weapons here. WC, so the blue parts for the shields and the blue parts for the sword. All of your weapon blue parts are going to be found on this WC. Cool runner, the WD runner. Alright, so this is molded, I don't know if this is like a plated plastic. Yeah, this has got to be plated or painted on, but this is a really nice kind of it's not like it's a chrome type color, but it's not like a bright chrome. It's like a darker silver kind of color here. And next, let's move on to the WE. Alright, so this is going to be the white parts for the weapons and the shield, and you do have the WE2, which is only part of the WE runner there. Next we have WF. This is going to be some clear green parts for the weapons. WF. Now this is a different color green than we saw in the B runner. This is a bit more darker. And this one also is a bit kind of more of that softer, flexible, but not as soft as the C runner. It does mention this is the R1 runner, and it does mention that this is the Gundam Exia, and it does have a date of 2017, so these are new beam effect parts, I do believe. So these are going to be the XB and the XC. I skipped the A for now, I'll show that in a bit. And these are going to be the runners for the base that comes with this kit. So we have the top box. You're going to hide the LED unit under that part. And we got the arm that's going to hold the kit on there. More parts for the arm and what have you. The base. So this is kind of something I was wondering about. Is this a new base compared to the Unicorn kit, or is this going to be the Unicorn base? But it does mention on the bottom this is the, there you go, XA, and it says Gundam Exia, made in 2017. So this has got to be an all. Oh, one other thing to mention here is I do believe that you are able to have the weapons stored on the bottom of this display base. Here we go. Let me open up the manual really quick. So it shows you here in the manual that you are able to store like the shield, the extra hands, and the sword, the GN sword, and all those parts in kit. All right, next up, let's show off what markings and stickers we come with this, or that come with this kit. This kit does not have any dry transfer decals. It doesn't have any water slide decals. This is only just regular markings. These stickers are going to be for the markings. And then you have this really silvery chrome sticker sheet for a lot of the other internal parts that you're going to want to show off. Maybe this will help also reflect the LED lights, I wonder. We'll have to unit. The LED unit came in this nice box. There we go. And once you open it up, you get the control box, and this control box has the on and off switch and a button to start it up. And let's see if I can pull this off here. This is going to be powered by 4 AA batteries. So that was kind of cool. This came inside the box with the lighting kit, so that makes me wonder if this was new. Now for the lights themselves, now these are just numbered here in the bags, so I'm going to just leave them in the bags here so I don't lose them. There's not a whole lot really to show off on these parts anyway. Just a bunch of wires that are going to connect together. So this is probably going to be the central unit. You got a light there in the middle. That's probably going to be for the chest light, I would imagine. We got more parts, more LED parts. So these are going to be strung throughout like the head. I'm guessing this is probably goes up into the head, I would imagine. And then you got like for the arms and the legs to give it that nice, cool lighting feature. Alright, so what else? Let's take a look, shall we, at the manual that comes with this kit. Oh boy, this is a big manual. I believe this was about, oh gosh, it's about 60 pages. 60 pages for this manual, and it looks great. I'm not going to flip through the entire thing, but I just want to show off it does have some cool pages here in the beginning. And we do, of course, have the Japanese at the top and the English at the bottom, so you're able to read quite a bit about this unit if you would like. And it lists off the parts. Now it does have some X's through some of the parts that you aren't going to use, and considering this is a brand new kit, that's kind of interesting, but that could just be maybe because these parts are used on the these parts aren't used for the LED version, and I wonder if maybe they are used for like the non-LED version. That's just my guess here. This is a really nicely thick and well done manual. Really big. Okay, so it shows off that how you can store all those parts into the bottom. We got some more color pages on the back of it, and it shows off the lights. It's talking about the the illumination effects and what have you. And then at the very back you have the guide for where you can put all of those markings, stickers, and if you really want to paint the kit, it of course has the colors that you can mix and match to make the colors that you would need to build this kit. So that, I believe, is going to be it for this entire unboxing of the lighting version of the PG Perfect Grade Gundam Exia. Alright guys, we'll see you later.